Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Joy and Hope in Middle Grade Contemporary Literature. So I'm Van Huang. I'm the author of Girl Giant and the Monkey King. I'm so excited to talk to all of the authors today on our panel on the importance of writing about joy and focusing on hope in children's books. And just to let everyone know, this panel is pre-recorded, but we will be chatting with you in the live premiere. So feel free to comment and ask questions and we'll be here to respond to them. So let's get started. I'm going to let all of our authors introduce themselves. And I'm just going to go in the order of the screen again. So Mae, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, hi. It's so nice to be here and to see you all. My name is Mae Respicio, and I write middle grade books. And my latest book is called Any Day with You. This actually comes out in paperback, I think, in like a couple of weeks. And then my next book is, I'm just going to share it really quick, How to Win a Slime War. And yeah, I love writing books around joy and kids in their everyday lives, but with Filipino American kids at their core.
Yay. All right, thank you. All right, Debbi.
Hi, I'm Debbi Michiko Florence. I'm so thrilled to be here with everybody. I am the author of the chapter book series, Jasmine Toguchi, and also my debut middle grade novel, Keep It Together, KEIKO Carter. And real quick, my next book coming out is Just Be Cool, Jenna Sakai, companion novel coming out in August.
Thank you. All right, go ahead, Jessica.
Hello, everyone, and happy AAPI Heritage Month. I'm Jessica Kim, and I am the author of Stand Up YUMI CHUNG, which is behind me. Oh, right there.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, yay, thank you, Debbi, for having me all.
All right, Lyla.
Hi, I'm Lyla Lee. I'm the author of the chapbook series, the MINDY KIM books, and then I'm also the author of the young adult book, I'll Be the One. So yeah, I'm happy to be here as well.
Yay. All right, let's get started. So the first question I have for you guys is, why is it important to focus on joy when writing for children? So anyone can feel free to jump in, or I can call on you if you want me to.
We're all so polite.
Well, I'll jump in. I mean, joy is so important for all of us. And I think, it's so what's wonderful about kids' books is that we can write about any number of issues, even serious issues. Kids are going through every single kind of emotion, just the way we are as grown-ups. And they need to see the breadth of our experiences and of our emotions. So, there are hard moments for kids, but in real life, those are paired with joyful moments.
Yeah, I think for me, I favor books, reading books that have joy and hope and make me smile. So I think that's why I write the kind of books I do. And I really love I like writing books like follow your dreams, follow your heart. And I think it's a really important message to share, not only with kids, but with grownups.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll go. Yeah, and also like yeah, I agree with what Mae and Debbi said, and I think it's especially important like nowadays when there's a lot of like Asian hate crimes going on, and it's not like kids are like blind to that happening. And then I gotten DMs from parents about like how their kids were scared, and it's it's kind of like hard to find a balance because you kind of like don't want kids to like find out about the harsh realities of the world so soon, but then again it's like when something bad happens you kind of want to help them like deal with it, and having joy in literature kind of helps them like cope with the bad things as well. And I think for me that's why I like for example Mindy Kim, the first book, it like starts off as like not a happy premise, like her mom dies, and that's why her and her dad like has to move to start a new life. Despite, and then also like a lot of like not happy things happen. Like for example, she gets bullied for being Asian, and despite that, like she still tries to like find the joy and everything. And I also didn't want to like kind of dwell on the tragedy, and more like I wanted the story to be more about like how she's overcoming that with like by having fun moments with her dad and her friends.
I don't know if it was like this when you guys were younger, but I remember going to the library or bookstore and searching furiously for anyone that is remotely looks like me or my family. And I remember just being so disappointed by, it was just like Chinese New Year, you know, like we were only like martial arts, holidays, like it was never about us and our experiences, our stories, our emotions, the things, our challenges, the things we go through in our lives. And it, like I think I still carry a little bit of that with me because I'm working on a book right now, and I remember struggling in the beginning because I was wondering, is this Asian enough? Because it was a story centered around a friendship breaking up, and I almost felt like, you know, I am an Asian American person writing books. Do I need to put it in the forefront? But then it was great. I talked to my agent and my editor, and we were talking about just normalizing our experiences. It's okay for us to just have books about friendship, about moms passing away, about joys, you know, about different things without it having to center around our immigration or our trauma or any of those things. So, you know, I know our panel is really focusing on joy, but I love what Mae said. It's the breadth of our experiences, our humanity. And that's what I think is going to make other readers realize how much they have in common with all characters. So I love that the way that stories open us up to new experiences, but also the familiarity of shared experiences as well. So,
yeah, definitely. It's like a lot of pressure, like, you know, authors of colors feel a lot of pressure to write about trauma. So it's nice to like hear that, you know, there's an editor or there are agents who want us to just focus on like that, you know, like kids like us can still have like, you know, grand, like sweeping epic adventures and not have to deal with like the trauma of our like our marginalization all the time, you know. Mm-hmm. What's something fun in your books that you want everyone to know about? Like, is there like food or like K-pop? Just as an example.
Food. I'm just like so food focused in life anyway. Like when people are like, what's your favorite thing to do? What are your hobbies? And I'm always like, eating. I love to eat. So it's no surprise that food makes its way in almost all my books, like Jasmine Toguchi, Mochi Queen. It's about a girl wanting to make mochi. And in KEIKO Carter, she's really focused on chocolate. And in the next book, Jenna Sakai, she's really into Japanese curry and milkshakes. So yeah, I don't know that I'm ever going to write a book that isn't like something about food.
Yeah. Food is a universally like loved thing to do, and because like that's what everyone connects with. It's a great, you know, way to like introduce people to your culture too. What about everyone else? What's something fun they want to talk about from their books?
Yeah, I agree about the food thing, and that's one reason why. I mean, I love your books for many reasons, Debbi, but that's one reason why I'm always like, oh, I'm so hungry now. The little Easter egg in my books is that there's always a kid or a friend who makes something with ube. Ube is a Filipino sweet purple yam, so there's an ube dessert in every book. My kids, I've got 2 boys, they actually help me with that because they love eating all kinds of Filipino sweet desserts, and they're like, can you put something like an ube cupcake in this book?
Oh.
Like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm trying to keep that in every single book.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got a lot of food in mind too. Yumi's parents own a Korean barbecue restaurant, and so there's like the entire like finale scene happens like with smoked meats like in the restaurant. And so yeah, I think it's a huge part. It's a cultural touchstone. I think people can access culture that way because maybe they haven't been to Korea, but they've definitely been to a Korean barbecue buffet or some kind of restaurant, and so that can be exciting and also familiar. Because even if they haven't gone to a Korean barbecue, they've gone to a barbecue. And so there's something about heat and fire and grilled meat that everyone can kind of relate to. So
I know that in Lila's books, Mindy Kim starts a seaweed business, right? So there's definitely...
I was gonna say I was laughing when you asked that question. I was like, wait, my book has all those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm similar to Jessica in that like my first book it's literally about a snack trading business, and it was basically based on a real snack trading like business that my friends had when I was in elementary school, and going back to what Debbie said about like writing about things that make you happy. Well, dogs make me happy, so I literally made a book about dogs. but also like I find joy in sharing my Korean culture. So I also wrote a book about like Lunar New Year, not Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year.
Yes.
But also like not related to Mindy Kim. Like I also wrote about K-pop, FYI.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Did BTS come out with an album? So I'm not.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm not like a huge BTS.
Yeah. Well, I guess yesterday. This is
yeah.
like premiering on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm listening to today.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I slipped a few mentions of BTS in my book, and the kids like I've been getting fun emails of people noticing.
Yeah. I've mentioned BTS in like a Mindy Kim book as well. It hasn't come out yet, but the one come out this fall has mentioned of BTS.
Oh, we're gonna have to do we're gonna have to do like a panel because BTS makes the appearance in my next novel coming out next year.
That's so funny.
Funny.
Okay, so what do you wish had been in the books you'd read as kids? Like as far as it pertains to, you know, like joy and hope.
What do we wish was in books?
Yeah, that you had
the books
like,
we read.
When you were a kid.
Oh, I would just say Korean Americans, period. I wish we were in books. Forget everything else. I just wish we existed. I wish we.
Oh no.
Oh no, Jessica.
Like Claudia,
there she is.
Okay.
No, you're fine. Yeah,
sorry.
You're back.
So Claudia Kishi, do we get that? Yeah. So my favorite babysitter of the Babysitters Club was obviously Claudia, and that was because she was the closest thing to something that I could relate to. So when Mimi died, it was like my own honey died. You know, it was like.
I remember that too. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert. That was like 30 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
She wasn't caught up yet.
Sorry.
The old version. We don't know if the new version is going to have that. So.
Yeah, who knows if she actually dies.
The generation gap is showing. But anyway, yeah, I just wished any kind of like representation, anything familiar would have been really amazing for me, I think.
Right. And earlier, Jessica, you had said about, you know, seeing trauma or a pain. And that was the only way I could find Japanese American representation when I was growing up. It was either World War II and incarceration, right? So I was the enemy or the other, or there were immigration stories, which are important, but it wasn't my story. So yeah, I feel the same. I wish there had been contemporary stories of joy and hope with Japanese American characters.
Yeah, and you know, the same for me too. Like the books I loved when I was growing up were like Sweet Valley High, Sweet Valley Twins, Babysitter's Club, you know, same thing. Claudia was my favorite. And, you know, those are just about kids in their everyday lives, just, you know, at school or like their friendships or like, you know, breaking up or, you know, all those things. And I just like Jessica, I just wanted anything with a Filipino kid going through their everyday life. Like, you know, just a normal, quote unquote, normal book. And, you know, I'm glad that like with all of our books that those everyday moments with an Asian American kid, you know, at their center are starting to pop up for kids. But when I was growing up, I just wanted anything with a Filipino kid.
Yeah.
I felt like the only time we were represented is in our foreignness.
Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, I was gonna say that well, I remember like I similar to Mae, Debbie, and Jessica, like I grew up reading books like that like had like not so either really sad representations of like Korean Americans or like people of color as like side characters, like the friend or the bus driver or the person mowing the lawn. But like I actually remember like when I was writing Mindy Kim, I looked at the first Ginny B. Jones book and I was like, oh wait, the bus driver's Asian. I was like, oh, and like it's just the same with all the other books that get grew up, like Babysitter's Club. I mean, Claudia was there, which is good, but same with like the Magic Tree House books. Like there was so little representation back then. I'm so glad it improved like now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so what joyful books have you read lately and want to recommend?
Sorry, I feel like every time I talk, it kicks me
I know,
off.
we're just all right, I'll start because I actually wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. Because oftentimes when someone says, name a book, and I'm like, my mind goes blank. So a couple of books I recently read that I want to recommend, full of joy, is Generation Misfits, which hasn't come out yet, but will be coming out soon by Akemi Don Bowman. And it's J-pop and friendship. So super fun. And then there's a middle grade series. The first one, well, they're called the Kudo Kids. And the first one, Mystery of the Masked Medalists. It's by Mai and Alex Shibutani. But this particular book is about brother and sister who go to Tokyo for the first time for the Olympics. So very timely, and well, kind of. And there's a mystery and a game involved. So I found that both of those books a lot of fun to read.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
Oh, sorry. I just like popped it because like Debbi mentioned this book and I had it because I blurred for them.
Yay, that's the second one, right?
This is the first book.
Oh, the first one. Hey, then we're both on the back then.
Yeah.
Wow.
How fun.
I think I'm actually in the front, in the inside pages. I don't know where I am, but anyway.
You're somewhere.
Yeah, this book is really good. I had a very fun time reading it as well, and yeah, I was actually gonna also recommend Akemi's book because she's a good friend.
Oh.
So yeah, yeah, those are my recs. Oh, and Debbie's book, of course. Debbie's books, of course. Whenever people were like, I remember like I got a lot of DMs about like, oh my kid like loved Mindy Kim books, but we want like more books, chapter books about Asian characters. I'm like,
I do that too.
There's a whole series right there, Jasmine Toguchi.
But that kind of shows you, right, that in the chapter book realm, we need more representation.
Right. Yeah.
Throughout, yeah. In all of the realms, yes. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, get writing, guys.
We have a list.
So my son and I we're in the middle of this right now, Sugar and Spite by Gail Villanueva. And so it's about, well, it's a friendship story and there's bullying and there's pets. But I love her writing and she's funny. And it also takes you to a different country because it's set in the Philippines. So this would be my rec. I think it's out already. Yeah.
It is.
Came out.
And it's got magic.
Yeah,
Little magic in it too.
And a little magic too. And I love this cover. So we've got their dog and cat there.
Yeah, Gail did another panel about food and Filipino food. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jessica.
Oh, no, it's okay. Sorry, my audio is terrible today. I apologize. But I also want to recommend Akemi Don Bowman's book because I blurbed for her as well. And I loved it. It was so cute. She writes so well in every YA middle grade.
Yeah, she's just so amazing. I love her.
Yeah, it's awesome. But the book that I chose today was Made in Korea by Sarah Sooke.
Oh, I want to read that.
It's super cute. It's a YA book and it's a rom-com about these two kids who are competing, selling K-beauty products at their high school. And it's just got the cutest grandma character. So definitely check it out. It came out this week.
Oh, awesome.
It looks really cute. I was just going to tell everyone before that Gail did a panel on like Filipino food in, like specifically just Filipino food. And it was like the funniest panel. Like, I think like we were all just like giggling the whole time. Okay, so what are some elements to look for when you're looking for books that center on joy? Like, what do you recommend? Like if you're going out to look for something specifically for joy and hope in middle grade, like what would you search for?
Well, I think luckily it seems that middle grade, there's always a touch of hope. that carries you through the book. And I think most middle grade authors, my guess, are very conscious of, infusing their books with that sort of hope, because kids, they need that to counterbalance anything a little bit more serious. So I think my guess would be most books that you pick up for a middle grade reader do have that in it. But I just tend to look at the covers and read read the jackets and try to understand what the book is about. Are they in school? Are they in their everyday lives? What is this book all about? So that's actually fun for me to do, is to just go into a bookstore library and check the books out and see what they're all about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Middle grade is very focused on joy and hope already. So even if it's about something dark or deep, then you kind of know that it's going to be kind of lighthearted.
Which is what I love about middle grade. So I feel like you can't really go wrong.
Yeah.
One thing I love about books that are written from a marginalized perspective is the way they honor who they are and their background and where they come from, particularly with parents. Especially in the middle grade, a lot of some of the conflict does come from parents not understanding. At least my book really centers on my main character really grappling with her immigrant parents and their values. And I think what I learned in my revision process as I was writing my book is not to override the parents and their experiences and all that they experienced in their immigration, but to honor it. And so I love books that embrace the totality of who they are and not just their American side or the individualistic side or the kick-ass side. I also think it's really important that parents are teaching them caution and invest in their studies, or those things are not to be poo-pooed or whatever. I love holistic. Sorry, I keep coming in.
Oh no, yeah, you cut off a little. Just can you repeat what the last part of what you were saying?
Oh, just how marginalized characters kind of show the 3 dimensions of the characters and where they come from and who they are, and embrace all of it. And I love that.
Yeah. Going back to the cover thing, you know how they say don't judge a book by a cover? I totally judge a book by the cover.
But middle grade books have the best covers. So
yeah, they do. And I have to say, I'm just so excited that when it comes to BIPOC characters written by own voices, that you're actually seeing that reflected on the covers now, right? I love looking at a cover and seeing an Asian American face there. And I will admit, I'm gravitating toward those right now, regardless of what the book is about. I'll pick it up. So.
Yeah, no, me too. It's just because it's, you kind of, you want to read within, especially right now, with everything going on in the world, you kind of just want something comforting, and, you want to be surrounded by the people who are gonna love you. And so it's nice to pick up a book that with someone who's from your own culture. Okay. Let's start. Let's kind of take a break for our game. We have a fun scavenger hunt game. So I hope you're prepared. Do we need to take kind of a minute?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Right?
Jessica froze and she was very worried. So maybe I'll give her a moment. Maybe she's scrambling to gather things. Okay. Let's play. Okay, Jessica, you're back. Yay. Okay, are we ready for a game?
Right.
Okay.
I'm so annoyed because I'm sure it was super unflattering the way I froze.
No, you seem very surprised.
It was
like I'm playing game.
Yeah,
it was not flattering.
Yeah. Okay.
I know. I've never had technical difficulties before. I don't know what's going on today.
Yeah, it's a cursed day because I think it was Mae who was almost her power almost went out.
My power was out this morning and my battery wasn't charged on my laptop and my phone.
Oh no.
One of those days.
Okay, our first item would be a book with a blue cover. Yay,
right in
Lyla!
front of me.
Oh my gosh, yay!
Yay!
Okay, we know Lila's book. We know Jessica's book. What book were you holding up, May?
Oh, Everlasting Nora.
Ooh, okay.
That one.
And then Debbi was, the Signs of Unbreakable Things. Or Breakable Things.
Wow.
Yay. Okay, next one is Something You Got in a Pre-Order Campaign. What is that,
I've
Debbi?
ever gotten any.
So Stacey Lee,
Oh,
for
yes.
her Luck of the Titanic pre-order, she made these book little bags, the book sleeves.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
Isn't that awesome?
Wow.
I can't
I'm gonna
imagine the
use
work
it
she put into
forever.
that.
Right?
It looks very
It's beautiful.
well made.
Yeah, it is.
She made them herself?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
That's a good one.
What were you holding up, Lyla?
Oh, this is not YA, but no, this is not MG. This is YA, but this is a book more for Diamond City, which is a fantasy book by my friend Francisca Flores, and it's cool because like it has like a main character like just kind of staring at you.
That's cool.
So I have it like perched like by my desk, and she's always staring. It's like one of those pictures that look at you, seem to look at you wherever you turn. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome. Does it freak you out, like when you're just like laying in bed and you kind of like can feel someone staring at
I
you?
joke with her that like I'm like oh whenever I'm procrastinating deadlines, she keeps me in check.
Watching you.
Yeah, I know.
Finish it, Lyla. I'm gonna cheat. I have my own.
That's awesome. I don't have anything. I've had stickers before, but the stickers always go to my kids. So
yes.
they're like,
at least they get used.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Our next item is going to be your favorite notebook, pen, or writing tool.
Whoa. I almost fell.
Okay, I think Jessica was first. What is that, Jessica? Is that your notebook?
Okay, so it's nothing special. It's just a notebook, but I bought like a set at Costco, and I nearly lost my mind when I got to my last book and realized I don't have any more because they're all the same size. And let's see, I'm going to take you back here. You can see I have one for each like step of my books, and I wanted them all to match.
Yeah, for a while. That's awesome.
I scoured Costco in my area to find more.
You have to buy a box.
I'm kind of obnoxious because I bought like
buy 10
as many as I could.
Right,
now you won't have to worry. Yeah, now you won't have to worry for a long time.
Wow.
Yes. Exactly.
That's awesome. Okay, I kind of don't remember, but I think May was next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Debbi knows this, but I love shopping at Daiso. Which is like, it's a Japanese dollar store. And I couldn't do it the whole pandemic because, obviously for obvious reasons. But finally they reopened, and then I was vaccinated. I had my mask on, and then I went and bought, stocked up on, I use this. It's just like a sketchbook. Oh. So the pages are blank, but it's huge. Like this is, bigger than my head. I love those notebooks, and I use them all the time. And then these are my latest. I love pens. This is my avocado.
Oh my gosh! I love so cute.
It's squishy. Like is the avocado squishy?
In a writing mood, I just pull this thing out. And then
that's awesome.
My son got me this for Mother's Day. It's
It's so cute.
I love it.
It's got the really fine tip. Mm-hmm. And things feel differently when the tip is different, and so I love writing with a really thin tip like that for whatever reason. It feels good to me when I'm brainstorming. So those are one more time.
We all want
avocado. Yeah, is the avocado squishy? Like, is it like a stress reliever?
Very important question.
Oh, this? No,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Oh, it's okay. It's so cute.
yeah. I just like want to squeeze it though for some reason. All right. Lyla, what did you have?
Yeah, so I can't choose my favorite notebook because I have a lot of cute notebooks that
Oh.
I write with.
Oh, Pusheen.
Like honestly, I wish there was a whoops. I just stopped everything, but I wish there was like a rhyme or reason to how I would use them. But it was just whatever is available at the time.
Yeah.
I scribble down notes. But also I like to use a monthly planner to keep track of my writing.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, whoa.
Oh, nice.
And so this is my monthly planner.
Yeah, I love stickers. They're a great motivator for me. Like every time I write a certain number of pages, I give myself a sticker. So
Yeah.
Debbie, what did you have?
I use a different notebook for each project, but my current favorite notebook is this. This is a notebook that was in the cover shoot for Jenna Sakai, and my awesome cover designer Stephanie Yang saved all the notebooks for me and sent them to me. And I'm actually the other two I'm giving away as during a pre-order campaign for Jenna Sakai.
Fun.
So,
Yeah,
and I
very
also
fun.
love these pens, these Energel pens.
Oh yes, those are my favorite too.
I'm left-handed, so these are quick dry.
Mhm.
So if I don't have quick dry, then I will have whatever color I'm using all over my hand. So
Yeah,
important.
they have a really cute pink shade. Like I really like the pink version of that
Yeah,
pen. Like
I use the
it's
purple.
Yeah.
Debbie,
Yeah.
did you know that the designer was going to mail you the notebooks, or was it a surprise?
Yeah, well, we talked about it afterwards because for KEIKO Carter, I did a pre-order giveaway, and I asked her where she got all the items, and I got them afterwards. So this time she saved some of the things and sent them to me. So she's awesome.
That's
So
cool.
cute.
Yay, that was really fun. But that concludes our scavenger hunt game.
I was afraid you're going to make us get our pets.
I got my plant. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Ready.
Oh, you're ready. My rabbit, my dog, and my duck. Nope, they weren't going to come.
I was gonna get out of it.
Oh my gosh. Is it real?
No.
I was going to do this.
Oh,
I was going to do this.
Oh, yeah, that was good. That's smart.
So
He's a
cute.
lot bigger now, but he's out on a walk.
Yeah.
So cute.
Okay, going back to our questions.
Get serious.
Okay, how do you get into the mood to write? Like, do you usually play music, or do you like read a passage from a different book? Go for it.
I have a playlist for every project. I make a playlist that kind of sets the mood, or I have the songs like a soundtrack. Like if the opening's like angry, then there's an angry song, and then it'll change to like the sad part or the love story part. But I'm Gen X, and I cannot multitask. So I have to have complete silence when I write. So I usually listen to the playlist. I go running in the morning, so I listen to the playlist when I go running. It sets the tone.
Yeah, I'm the same way to get in the mood. Like I listen to the music, but I can't like listen to it while I'm writing. Like I'll just like stop and like listen to the lyrics and stuff.
Yeah, I'll sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
sorry.
you
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
You
Yes,
go
I
ahead.
need silence when I'm writing. And I know a writer friend during the pandemic, she put on ambient music that makes it sound like you're in a cafe with like people talking and drinking. I'm like, I can't do that. I just need silence. But same thing, I listen to some music beforehand, and I try to read just little snippets of my favorite books to get sort of a melody in my head or a rhythm of the words. And I find that helps me too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I have like a whole little ritual with like my coffee, and then I check my email, and I do this and then do it in order, certain way.
Wow.
But I do the thing that you're not supposed to do, which is I'll read like the 3 or 4 chapters before to kind of get in the mode, which is kind of like what you guys are doing with the music. But I'm just reading over the last few chapters, and then I start.
I mean, I think the only reason they tell you not to do that is because then you get into like editing mode and then you never like actually progress. So if it works for you, like
I don't know, it doesn't work for me. That's what I'm. That's why I'm still drafting. It's taking forever.
But yeah, I also listen to music, but only when I'm drafting. I told us to the few kids that I met on tour before we shut down last year. But for the first 2 MINDY KIM books, I actually listened to Baby Shark on repeat.
Oh my god.
So yeah, because I just wanted to get I mean, I guess for me, since I write so many books, different books, like I write YA, I write chapter books, I also write adult, so like it's kind of hard to like get switch back and forth. But the way I do it is I like live through music, and I also like realized that like I actually like apparently I don't, because I remember like a lot of people like say like, oh, I can't listen to music because like the lyrics, but I actually recently realized that like I don't know the lyrics to any of the songs. To me, that's why it didn't work for me, because like I don't pay attention to the lyrics, just the rhythm. So yeah.
That's so funny that you said that about Baby Shark, because like I have a baby, and so Baby Shark is always on, whether I want it or not. And I can't believe, but I can't believe you did that by like you do it by choice.
I listened to like the different. There's like an EDM version. There's a hip hop version. Like there's like there's a bunch of different variations. I've listened to all of them.
That's true. Yeah, there are.
I did not know that.
Me neither.
Respect.
Okay, so this kind of goes along with that. Do you guys create like mood boards or aesthetics for your projects before you start them? Like I'm not a very visual person, so like people who create mood boards, I'm always like, oh, those are so cute, but like I think they would not work for me, you know? So just wondering.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
So that's my quick answer.
All the time on Twitter, and people create these really beautiful mood boards, and I tried once just to see what it was about, but I just couldn't, it didn't really inspire me the way it does other creators. So
yeah. Okay, cool.
Well, I didn't do one with people or characters, but I did one, like I remember one of the first feedback I got on one of the early rounds was that the Korean restaurant felt like an empty space, like it didn't feel like it. And so I did make a Pinterest board of like what a Korean barbecue restaurant looks like, feels like, smells like. But I'm like super like you, Van. I'm just words. So like I'll just do like little stickies and stuff.
Yeah, not to like diagnose anyone, but I think for me it's because I have ADHD, so it's hard for me to like visualize like a place. And even like in my own writing, I've always gotten that feedback too, where it's like it feels like white room syndrome. But that's because like I don't like process, like descriptions. So like in my writing, I tend not to like write descriptions. So it's something I have to like focus on, like it's a challenge. But yeah, like I think I've done that before, and I don't think mood boards work for me either. What about you?
Even as like a reader, I skip over the description.
Me too. I always like skim over the description, like I don't care about
blah,
this.
blah, blah.
Yeah. I think I do it, but only when I'm struggling, and I'm like kind of like what Jessica said about like how like she was trying to convey the restaurant. Like if I like can't really grasp the mood of the book or like the themes or like the details, then I create a mood board, but usually no, I don't either.
All right, cool. What's something you want to read more about? Like, what do you wish were in more books now? Like, it could be very specific too. Like, do you want to read? You wish there were more like books about like BTS or something,
I was recently on a panel, and who was I with? I don't remember exactly, but we were all coincidentally writing Shy Girls. And we were so happy to find each other because, especially in American culture, it's like the feisty, the spunky, the kick-ass, it's like the fighter, the chosen one. And ours are like the in the corner, like I think they're heroes too, and their strengths are different, but they're certainly, valid and amazing in their own right. So I really like the weaker, the quiet, the unassuming, like those characters really interest me, boys and girls.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that. I think in middle grade, because that's what I do, all my books, my middle grade books, have a romance element to
They
them.
do.
So I love reading anything about romance, but I really particularly like that whole tween romance, because that's that whole like, you know, first crush, and you're kind of awkward, but your feelings are so big. You know, when you're 12, you think you know it all, and I did know it all, but you know, those feelings are so big. I love reading anything about like that new, fresh romance, or even new friendship, all of that stuff. So I'd love to keep seeing more of that with AAPI characters.
Yeah, definitely.
I just want to see more AAPI characters in their everyday moments, you know, like we were talking about earlier. If you're a writer, keep writing and get your book out there, because we want it out there.
Yes.
I want it out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely more diversity, more representation. Like I feel like in the last 10 years, we've like come so far. But it's like I hope that doesn't stop, and I hope we just keep producing a lot of like these good books that kind of like show the grand scheme of like how diverse that everyone's families are.
Yeah.
Different family structures.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when like there's that pressure of us to like almost like represent our culture when like, you know, that's a lot, you know, that's a lot of pressure, and it's like we're just one experience. So yeah, like more experiences to show that we're very nuanced would be great. Yeah. Okay, what are you guys working on next? If you can talk about it.
I can talk about mine.
Okay.
The next middle grade novel coming out next year is called Sweet and Sour, and it is a summer story about a 12-year-old Japanese American girl who is really focused on revenge, getting revenge on her former BFF, and let's see, you can tell I haven't really talked about this, former BFF and childhood friend who's a boy, because he betrayed their friendship by humiliating her.
Oh no!
I want to read it.
That sounds really cute.
I'm doing line edits right now, so.
Love it.
When does that one come out?
Pardon?
When does that come out?
2022. I don't have a pub date yet, so yeah.
Okay, I'll talk about mine. I'm writing about a 12-year-old girl who is breaking up with her best friend, but she doesn't know it. So it's kind of a best friend breakup story. They're kind of growing in different directions, but it's beginning to get a little toxic, and it's kind of a book about giving yourself permission to leave a friendship when it's no longer serving you. And it's about all that guilt and the feelings that we have. And it's kind of addressing kind of the way society has taught women to always accommodate to each other and to be loyal and faithful best friends forever, you know, and it's kind of breaking that and allowing kids to know that you're growing and it's okay to move on. It's okay to be, you know, do different things. And it kind of grapples with some tougher relational stuff about friendships.
Yeah, that sounds really important.
I can't wait to read that.
Yeah, I wish I had that like recently, not even, you know, back in middle grade.
And it also has a lot of K-pop dancing, and you know, it's still
so
fun.
So does mine. Yay.
Yeah. It's still fun, but it's got some deeper stuff.
Oh, sounds really, really good. I can't wait.
Is this the one you're drafting right now?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Write faster.
I will try.
Well, here's mine. So I actually don't really know what it is yet, but it's in here somewhere, and I got to figure that out.
I hate that part.
Like this book, because this comes out in September. I had a lot of fun writing this, and I wrote this when my boys were obsessed with making slime. Like I was everywhere in our house. And so it's about a kid who enters a slime war at his school. Like it's a top secret, you know, slime ring happening at school.
Oh, cool.
Because he wants to stand out. And so this book is all about finding your voice and learning how to stand out in a way that feels good and authentic to you. And then the deeper story is this kid and his dad has certain expectations of his son that his son just doesn't really agree with, but he doesn't know how to tell that to his father, or really, it's just his journey of figuring out his own voice. And so I'm excited about that. And then this, it's hard to be excited when you're just like so knee deep in like trying to figure out what this story is. So yeah.
Hey, Mae, when does the How to Win a Slime War come out?
That comes out September.
Okay,
4th.
awesome.
Yeah, in the fall.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
Yay.
thank you.
So I can't talk about what I'm working on yet, but I do have a new MINDY KIM book that's coming out in a few weeks. On June 8th. It's MINDY KIM, A Trip to Korea. I don't know
Oh, my kids are so
just
excited.
telling someone about that book.
Yeah. So basically, it's about how Mindy goes to see her grandparents and her relatives in Korea for the first time. So it's the first time in Korea, and like it's just like how, kind of showing how this Korean American girl is like experiencing her heritage for the first time. So I had a lot of fun writing this book. I actually wrote this while I was under quarantine in Korea last year, because I have to do research for the book. So yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun with that. And then after that, the next MINDY KIM book after this one comes out in September, and that's about how Mindy enters a trivia competition with her dad, and how kind of like she's trying to like help her dad. I mean, she's kind of trying to like not only win the competition, but also kind of help her dad, who's like a Korean immigrant, so he does not be familiar with a lot of the references in the competition. So yeah, but also like a fun trivia book. I had a lot of fun looking up the random trivia stuff that like as part of the question. That's part of the reason. That's like how I actually incorporated BTS. They're one of the questions, or one of the answers to the questions. Like, yeah.
That's awesome. Now you have a lot of like fun knowledge. You can bust out in small talk. What books did you read as kids that inspired you to want to write? Like, was there a book that like just made you want to become a writer?
I loved Judy Bloom when I was a kid. And Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is being made into a movie. I just learned that recently. And so it takes, 10, 20 years for that to happen, right? But yeah, I loved any book that just again just showed girls in their everyday lives, going through periods or figuring out boys and crushes and those kinds of things. So I read her a lot when I was growing up.
Yeah, I did too. Oh, Judy Bloom. Yes. And that's so cool about the movie. I'm totally going to watch that. I don't know that I loved reading Judy Bloom, and I read all through my childhood, but it wasn't until much later, Lisa Yee's Millicent Men Girl Genius and Linda Sue Park's Project Mulberry, which are Asian American kids living a contemporary life. Yes. That's when I've always wanted to write, but that's when I felt like, oh, I can tell the stories that I want to tell, contemporary stories starring an Asian American kid. So I would say both of those books were really inspirational.
I think we already talked about.
This was the first time I ever saw an Asian kid on a cover, and I was already, an adult when I saw this book, and that's such a powerful moment to think, oh, look at that representation. Look at that person looks like me. And that for me, that didn't happen until, years and years later. So that's very powerful.
Yeah, that one was a big one for me too. I think I was a teacher at the time when I saw that book. So long past my own childhood, but so excited nonetheless to see it. And it was a brilliant, hilarious book that I go back to often. We talked about babysitters clubs and all the Sweet Valley stuff. But I mean, I was a reader, but I wasn't like a voracious reader as a kid. I'm always the one on panel that didn't know I wanted to be a writer until my late 30s. It wasn't something that was on my radar, reading or writing so much. And I wonder if that has to do with representation. So had I grown up seeing more, I wonder if I would have started earlier, or if it would have been more of an option for me. So yeah, those books are great.
Yeah, I grew up reading lots of different books. I feel like Judy Bloom's books, the Junie B. Jones books, Magic Treehouse books, but also like Lena Sue Park's books. I think I like kind of when I was a kid, I kind of really like was attracted to books about like kids, either kind of experiencing their everyday lives, or the complete opposite end of the spectrum, where like kids are like going on fantastical adventures, like Magic Treehouse, and then or like the At Edge Chronicles, and like and hopefully like but also like kind of like what Chika said about like how I look back, I didn't really like as a kid, I feel like I didn't really consciously like recognize, oh, like none of these kids are Asian. But like I feel like as an adult, I look back and I'm like, wow, like almost all these books about like white kids, which is kind of sad. But hopefully like the kids today have like better books out there that are more representative of who they are.
Yeah, my kids, they're funny. They're 8 and 11. And whenever anyone's watching TV or whatever, and we see a casual Asian, we call it out. Casual Asian!
Never heard that term before.
Very rare. So it's almost like a little unicorn, you know? So.
Are there any TV shows, movies, or other non-book media that you're obsessed with right now?
Well, BTS.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's more.
I just finished watching Avatar, and now we're on Legend of Korra, and like I know I'm late to the party, but like I was pretty obsessed with that for a while.
For me, this also is in middle grade, but I'm currently watching Younger, which is a TV show on Hulu. But before that, like last year, I was with the Babysitters Club. So I was like, oh my god, they made it into like a TV series.
It was so cute.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I love Claudia. Like I love the
they just did a good job with that. I feel like it brought me back a lot.
Are they having more seasons? Do you know?
I think so. I think they already confirmed it.
I don't know.
Didn't they have the best clothes? Oh my
god.
Yeah.
Like these kids are so well dressed. Like I
did not dress like that.
Oh my god. The bedrooms? Oh my god.
Yeah. Right.
Wow. Well, obviously visualized. Like, not realistic.
In Claudia's outfits, I wanted every single one.
Every single one.
Yeah.
She's like to the younger to the boys I loved before, like Lara Condor.
Yeah. Another one I was with To All the Boys I loved before. Yeah.
Also awesome wardrobes there.
Yeah.
Mae?
Well, you know, Babysitter's Club I watched with he just turned 11 with my 10-year-old. And I've never let him actually binge a show before, but we binged that. And so like went through them all. And then I remember, so we had a couple more episodes left, and then he said, oh, you know, Mommy, I did something really bad. I said, what? And then he said, I watched an episode without you.
Oh, no!
That, I know, such a betrayal.
So we're eagerly awaiting season 2.
Oh,
me too.
So cute.
What was fun about that is like the adults were just as excited as the kids, so you can watch it together.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Okay, we're reaching the end of our panel. So let's just end with the last question, which is what messages of hope do you want to leave our readers with? It's kind of a loaded question.
Yeah.
So quiet.
Well, you know, I think for me and for my books is that, you know, we can lean on our community and our friends and the people that we know care for us and love us to get through anything that comes our way. And I always try to leave with that sense of feeling and possibility in what I write. So that would be for me.
Yeah, I think I feel the same, right? Your community is everything. Either your family or your friend group. I think I explore that in all my books. Also, the whole like follow your heart. I'll end with the way I started, as that's the the feeling I hope all our readers walk away with is you can follow your dreams, follow your heart with your community at your side.
I love that. Yeah, I think as I'm finishing up my second book, I'm realizing how much I keep talking or using the theme of you are enough. I think sometimes it's hard for marginalized people to feel like they're ever enough because you only have one foot in each world or sometimes multiple worlds. And we are valid, our experiences are valid, and it is, it's enough. So.
Yeah, kind of combine what everyone else said. Definitely like the importance of falling back into community, but also like the fact that like you're not only enough, but also you're not alone. Like you don't have to face the difficulties in life alone. When I was a kid, like I moved around a lot, so I was always the new kid. And so I think that's kind of the reason why I fell into reading books a lot, because like you can't take your friends with you when you move, but like you can take your books with you, right? So and also like I had some like family tragedies, family things that happened that weren't so great. And again, I took solace in the books. And whether it's like books or your friends or your other community, like you don't have to go through everything alone. Yeah, and then like so basically you're not alone.
I love that.
Yeah, these are also uplifting messages. Okay, so yeah, I think that concludes our questions. Thank you so much for being on this panel and for letting me moderate. Like I had so much fun, and I had such a great conversation with you all. So to reiterate to our audience, this is pre-recorded, but we're going to be in the comments. So feel free to ask any questions. We'll stick around and try to answer them if we're here. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next API. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Can we stop to just let everyone know like where we can find you guys like online, like if you have an Instagram or Twitter or website or something?
Sure. I'm at JASMINE Writes. Oh, sorry. Are we going in order?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Oh. I do really well when there's like a established order. You can find me at JASMINE Writes on all platforms. I'm on Twitter and mostly Instagram. So, and my website is also JASMINEWrites.com.
That's brilliant of you. I'm all different. So just go to my website at DebbiMichikoFlorence.com and you can find all the ways to get in touch with me there.
And same thing with me, my website, MaeRespicio.com. And because there's another Mae Respicio out there, and the handle that I wanted on Instagram. So just go to my website.
My website is LylaLeeBooks.com, and my Instagram and Twitter are Literary Lyla, but most on Instagram.
All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.